So Jacob and I don't know if he's told you or not, but like we've kind of gotten into sports cards recently, and we always kind of laugh because we're always chasing these big hits, but we get so many Kool-Aid McKinstry.
I mean,
we have so many.
If Kool-Aid ends up being like Ed Reed, we're both retiring.
Let Kool-Aid make a couple of Pro Bowls. Just let him. I promise. We got the cards to back it up. But you talk about from top to bottom on the defense, how it's right now, it's figuring a lot of stuff out. It's not great. But you can expect it when that happens. And that happens in the NFL. It happens in college. It happens at all. Like when that happens, and you can't just out one-on-one teams. You can look for a lot of exotic feast or famine type game plans, type defenses, and get really creative with a lot of your game plan and trying to create confusion on the offensive side of the ball. And I know in OTAs and minicamp, it's really kind of like they're not going to install a lot of that stuff, but they probably would have already started putting the foundation and pieces of that in place. Have you seen anything on the defensive side of the ball that would lead you to believe that we could get to like a non-traditional type of third down defense or any non-traditional types of defenses?
No, I mean there wasn't a lot. Like it was kind of the base early on, and then by the end of minicamp, like we were starting to see, a little bit of dime, a little bit of nickel stuff, and I think within that, like you saw a little, show two rotate in the cover three. Like it wasn't a ton of stuff that you're kind of dissecting and being like, oh man, that was crazy. I think they were kind of hitting the tip of the iceberg on some of that stuff, but like really when you do go back and look at Staley though throughout time and throughout the years. I think that is kind of the hallmark of what he does on defense. And, DA did a lot of it too. He was kind of, at the forefront of bringing some of those simulated pressures and stuff into the league, but I think everyone caught up and then started to pass by a little bit at the end. Yeah. So I think Staley, I think we're definitely going to see some of that stuff though. And I think that really is kind of what they're all about. And they really, really do a good job of holding those shells right until the very end, and then sometimes even beyond the snap. And when they're even first down, they do some of that, and they don't like to put that extra guy in the box. They like to bring that guy like from anywhere. And sometimes it leaves them a little bit vulnerable to allowing a big explosive run, but sometimes like they're killing people with it too. And I think that was one of the things that maybe got them in trouble a little bit at the end and with the Chargers. But if you clean that up a little bit, you get a little bit more calculated. I think that there is benefit to it. And when you're watching it, it's just like one of those things. It's like, man, why don't more people do this? And it's a little bit of feast or famine, but like when you have a team like this, that's maybe a little bit deficient on talent, like maybe leading into, some of that risk is a calculated thing that you might have to do, as you were saying. So it would make a lot of sense, but I do think that is kind of the identity of him in general is kind of, that master of disguise, trying to dress things up, making it look a little bit different. And, I think that's one thing I like about the staff too, though, is that it's a lot of younger guys that kind of live on the internet and they're, not afraid to tell you that, hey, I was watching a high school football clip and we liked what we did here and we're bringing this in. Like that stuff that they're doing, they're searching for new ideas. So I would be surprised if things look static, and if there aren't times where you're watching, you're like, damn, where the hell did that come from? I think that's going to be part of their identity.
Look, I can fully get behind that because I can tell you as an 8U flag football offensive coordinator, Nick, I scour the internet looking for new plays and new ways to get the ball to playmakers, and I am A-okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many, like, good accounts, too, like Dan Casey.
Casey's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like they're just like they're out there, and there's just something. Like, I get the email every day from Dan Casey, the match quarters guy. Like there's just Cody Alexander. There's a ton of them out there that just kind of are posting stuff all day long. And I think that's where this staff kind of lives and exists. And it's kind of interesting. Like Kellen Moore actually brought Dan Casey out, I think, one time to the Chargers, like for training camp. I think he was out there in their like meeting room just because he liked the stuff that he does online. So it's a curious bunch of people that I think are going to constantly be looking for new ideas.
Don't play quarters.
Oh, I forgot Flynn. I'll go ahead and let you know. Flynn hates quarters. Like he can't stand it.
I hate it because as a quarterback, I loved it.
Right.
So I hate when my team I
gotcha.
cheer for
Yeah,
plays quarter.
so a couple years ago when Matt House at LSU was like,
You remember when Jaden Daniels
Quarters,
scored
quarters,
every time he
quarters.
got the ball?
yeah,
We played quarters every time they got the ball.
yeah. I will say there's a lot of quarter beaters out there that are pretty easy to find. But you'll learn that about Flynn. If we talk quarters defense, he is going to just leave the conversation.
Well, I mean, everyone did kind of overdose on it for a while.
They did.
So,
It was like a
sense
safe play, Nick. It's like when everybody like didn't know what to do, or they were trying to like, okay, let's get punched a little bit, and we'll just kind of get our feel of the game. It's like quarters. That's what we're gonna play.
We always had like game plans with quarter checks. Like if the quarterback saw quarters, like he was free to change the play to the quarter beater, and it usually worked.
Yep. Fair.
Yeah.
So.
Don't
All
do
right,
that.
he is Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football. Nobody does it better. Go check out the site. We are lucky to have him every
go,
single
Kool-Aid.
Tuesday here on OTB. Nick, we appreciate it, sir. We'll catch up again with you next week.
Yeah. Take it easy, guys.